Almost perfect. We're live. Hello, everyone.
Hey, okay, you ready?
Oh, yeah.
My man. All right. The hacks are going to be talking about Aquaman and Jason Momoa and the new trailer and whatever else pops in our heads. We haven't done just a hacks chat in a while, so Taylor and I thought this would be nice to just pare it down to the two of us again and just talk about comics and comic related stuff. So how you been, Taylor?
Good. How about yourself, Art? You sound like you're feeling a lot better.
I am feeling better. You too. We've been battling these crazy chest colds, and so this is the first day I've felt like myself in a while. So it's all good. Just in time for the Aquabro, the Aquabro trailer.
It just dropped like 2 days ago.
Yeah, we're a little bit behind, but weekends we don't really post too much and talk too much on the weekends. So I know we're just kind of getting around to the Aquaman trailer now, but we're gonna do it. You're gonna get our views on it, whether you like it or not.
We want to share our thoughts on the King of the Ocean.
Yes, this is a cover I did for the new 52 Aquaman not too long ago. Well, actually, it probably was a while ago now.
I believe you did 2, right?
Yeah.
So Art has a pass with Aquaman. Weekend is for family, says Sketch Therapy.
Yes, I try to take Sundays off and spend it with the family. And Sunday was my birthday as well, so the best present of all, my family let me sleep, so I got to sleep off a lot of this cold Sunday. So let's see, is this the other one? Oh no.
One of the posters.
Where's the other Aquaman art? Do you know where?
I think we have just that one.
Oh, we don't have the other cover?
I don't think so.
Oh, I thought we had the other cover too. All right. So the tide is coming. I'll keep it on this for a while.
Happy birthday, says the chat.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I'm 28 today. No, I'm not. I'm older than that. So, yeah, so other than that, what's been going on? How was your weekend, Taylor?
It was okay. I too slept a lot. I've been awaiting talking about this Aquaman trailer for a while because we kind of did a video about it when the first teaser dropped. We didn't really get in deep, and I think we compared it to Shazam at the time.
Yeah, that was before we had the Versus show, so I think that was one of the early ideas for Versus.
Inadvertently, like one of the kind of first Versus videos, but this one's all about Aquaman.
Look at that line work.
It's pretty beautiful.
Man, look at that. It even blows up nice. Look at that. It all holds up. Have you ever seen Aquaman ink so brilliantly?
The shadows, man.
I say nay. Yeah, so we've just been trying to take care of our health the last couple days and keep the Kickstarter thing alive and well. So if you don't know, we have a black and white remastered Indiegogo. Sorry about that. Indiegogo, and it's going strong. And what are we at? We're like 23.
I believe we just recently hit 23. We're a little over, and the next push goal is 25. So we're trying to get there soon so that we can hit some of the other more major push goals.
And 25 is the mini print, so that'll be fun. Right?
Yes.
25
is a mini print, and it kind of marks our like midpoint of push goals. So we're really trying to get there, and the faster we can do that, the faster we can get to the major push goal, which is the extra pages. Yeah. So go ahead and check the link in the description if you guys haven't backed Black and White Remastered yet.
We're just days away. We're a day away from 25. You guys will get your mini print soon. And then the next one is cool because it'll be the extra pages, which will be nice. More content for the buck.
Yeah, that one pushes the book far, so we're hoping to get that soon. There's about 13 days left, so if you're holding back on pledging, now's the time to get on there.
Yeah, please do not. This is nerve-wracking. We are nail biting. Right now, I have no nails on my fingertips.
You have no idea.
There's no really. Look at that. There's no
gone.
nails. It's gone. They're all in my belly. I ate my nails. I didn't, but I do have short nails. So, yeah, if there's any questions, you guys chime in.
NE says, in 30 years of Comic Cons, have you ever actually met an Aquaman fan or reader?
You know what? That is a really good question, and I'm glad you said that because I think you might have set the tone for this for this chat. Oh gosh.
I met like one guy in school that insisted that he really liked Aquaman, but it was almost out of spite. Like he liked him because he felt like he was unpopular. It was kind of strange.
So he liked the underdogs.
Yeah, it was really like his whole because he could never really tell me why he liked him. He could just tell me why everybody was wrong for not liking
For not
Aquaman.
liking him. Yeah, that's not a good reason for. I will tell you personal. You know, that's what we should do. We should talk about how we personally feel about Aquaman before we even get into this, because I think the love is, well, for me anyways, the love is going to come out with just what he means to me and what I like about the character.
Yeah.
And so, for me, I always thought I like the King Arthur. I like the Knights of the Round Table. I like all that, those stories. And I always thought at best, you know, Aquaman was King Arthur under the sea. So, you know, they tied into Atlantis. So Atlantis is the kingdom, and he's the king. And then, you know, he's got the queen. And then I think they even had a kid, but they had Aqualad as kind of, I think they had the kid later. But so then they had the heir to the throne. But then they had Aqualad as well. And when I was a kid, I don't know, you guys in the chat, there's a cyberbuck in it if you can remember this. But this is old school Aquaman. I think Atlantis was in a dome.
I think you're right. That visual, like right when you said that, I can kind of picture it.
I'm not sure if it had water in it. I think it was a dome city.
An underwater city.
Right.
Yeah.
That was on the bottom of the ocean, and it was in a dome. And for some reason, there was air and everything else. So he could still go out. They could go out into the ocean and do things. But I believe that Atlantis itself was under a giant dome.
People are talking about maybe that was a depiction in the old Justice League cartoon.
Well, if it was, I remember the comic book having it as well. I'm pretty sure.
Are you sure you're not just remembering Jabberjaw?
That was a great time in my life. Jabberjaw got me through some really hard times.
Jabberjaw's where it's at.
Jabberjaw. Get it? He's a shark.
He talked like one of the Three Stooges.
Hey, Mo!
Wasn't there an Aquaman Jabberjaw team up recently in the comics? Because they did the Hanna-Barbera team up books, and I believe Jabberjaw was Aquaman's team up.
That may be the best Aquaman depiction of all time. But anyway, I liked that dynamic, and I do believe that they lived under a dome. And so I just like those adventures. And also, just to go into the comics, or the cartoons, I mean, since you guys brought it up, there was an old Aquaman cartoon, and I don't think they did this in the comics, but in the cartoons, I did like them because they rode giant seahorses.
Yes.
And the seahorses were like, they acted just like real horses. Like they had bridles and they had reins, right?
That's awesome.
And they had saddles on them, and they rode these things. And for some reason, as a kid, I was like, yeah, that's really cool.
Because it looks like high fantasy.
Yeah. I like that. So, anyways, what are your good memories of Aquaman?
I like Aquaman was not on my radar when I was a kid, and but I liked his animated depictions a lot. I liked his depiction in the Batman Brave and Bold cartoon, where he was kind of goofy, but he was very kingly. I like the bearded Aquaman in particular. And then in the Justice League, I thought he was cool, and he had the Triton arm. He was like the aged king. And I liked his depiction like that when he was more kingly, I guess. Like he wasn't as young of a man. He had the beard and stuff. He was more like a King Triton type. And that's kind of the Aquaman that I like. And I liked his world, because I was never really big on Atlantis, because, fun fact, I'm super afraid of the ocean. I have like a major like water phobia, so I don't usually gravitate towards things that are set underwater. But if you guys watch the Young Justice cartoon, I thought that was a really cool way they depicted Atlantis, and everybody was very magic oriented, and I really liked the Aqualad from that series. I thought it was pretty cool. But as far as like the comics and stuff, I didn't read a lot of them. I saw him in a lot of team ups and in a lot of Justice League stuff, but I never really gravitated towards his solo books, I guess. And I remember on that first relaunch in the New 52, it was really weird. Like, it was an awkward read because the book basically started off with multiple people making fun of Aquaman to his face. Do you remember that art? It was like he came out of the ocean and then, like, he saved some people from some crazy things, and then they're just like, "Oh, do you talk to fish?"
That was the New 52 Jeff Johns, right? Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh, like really? He wouldn't have your respect after saving your life?" And that was fine for like a one-off joke, but it went throughout the whole issue, and it was pervasive in the whole comic, and it just really put a sour taste in my mouth.
Yeah, and sometimes that stuff works like where it's an obvious like silly thing. It's kind of a Joss Whedon thing where it's like you address the elephant in the room kind of thing, and then and then you get it out of the way, and then you move forward. But I thought for a new launch of Aquaman, why did you even have to get it out of the way? Like you hadn't even established him yet, because it's right at the beginning, right?
It is. It's like right at the very beginning. Like the first interaction he has with a human being is them like mocking him.
There's this cool shot of like Aquaman. He flips like a whole like Brinks truck, right?
Yes,
because there's
that's
robbers.
exactly it.
Like he shows this super heroics. Like he's super strong. And he flips over this Brinks truck, and then he saves or he foils the bank robbery, and everybody's like, "Yay!" And then they're like, do you like fish? Do you eat them?"
And nobody's impressed by the fact that this guy came from like the depths and is like super strong.
Right. If I saw somebody stop a bank robbery and flip over a Brinks truck, I think I'd be impressed. What kind of jaded world would you live in if you didn't go, "Oh my gosh, I just saw like a crazy miracle"? Instead you go, "Do you eat fish? Do you talk to fish?
Aren't they your friends? Why are you at this fish restaurant?" It's just like, I don't know. It was really, I thought it was obnoxious, to be honest. And like, I get that he's kind of a jokey character by that reputation, but he has a really cool power set, and I think if people wrote him where he wasn't a joke, it wouldn't be such a big deal.
Well, let's just back up, okay? There's a character called Spider-Man. There's a character called Batman.
Yeah, but those are so much cooler.
There's a character called Superman. These are all silly ideas if you think about them. So when you write a character and then you go in with like, "Oh, I'm going to address the fact that this is a silly character," well, where do you draw the line? Like
everyone looks silly in comparison anyway.
They're all silly. Like in comparison, Aquaman's probably the least silly looking character out of all of them. There's a guy dresses like a bat. Like,
well, remember there was that animated cartoon that came out like a while back. I think it was the Throne of Atlantis cartoon, and then like Batman says like, "Oh, you're called," or he goes, "Aquaman." Aquaman's like, "They're calling me Aquaman," and it's like, you're in a world where all these people exist. Yes, they're calling you Aquaman. That's like one of the least weird names. Like there's Wonder Woman. There's like Martian Manhunter. Like yeah, like you pointed out, it's like it kind of shakes up the reality of everything.
Yeah, if you're gonna make fun of one, where do you draw the line? There's a character that runs fast, and his name's the Flash. His name's the Flash. Like, I mean, if we're going to, be technical here, and
Aquaman's a step too far.
I say, yeah, you're just going too far. I don't know. I just don't like when the industry makes fun of itself. I mean, we're kind of doing this, but I think we're doing this out of love for the character, because we do like the character, and we want to see good things done with it. But I just think sometimes when you point out the elephant in the room, it works, but sometimes it doesn't.
Especially if you point it out like twice in a row.
Right, and especially when you haven't clearly established the character in the New 52, and you do it within the first 8 pages, or it's probably less than that, right?
Let me tell you why this book you're reading is stupid now that you've bought it.
This is a silly idea. Yeah, when you pose it that way, yeah, they're all silly ideas.
What we're saying is that Aquaman's kind of cool and can be kind of cool.
Yeah, he can be cool, and I'm not saying that Aquabro, the Jason Momoa one, isn't cool, but we're just going to give you some thoughts about how we feel about it. I hope it doesn't come across too snarky or too cynical, and just know that it always comes out of a deep love for these characters. We want these things to do well. But, I don't know, maybe from our mouths to movie producers' ears. Maybe they can hear what the fans think about this stuff, because we definitely are fans.
Here's hoping.
Okay, so Taylor put together
There's the poster.
all kinds of posters.
This is the worst of them, I think.
Uh,
We're not starting off strong.
Is this legit? A tide is coming?
A tide is
coming. A tide.
A tide is coming.
Not a tidal wave. Not a tide. Like a tide is like, it goes by the moon.
Not the tide.
It's just a tide. So it just kind of, right, it pulls in and then pulls out, right? That's the tide. And
so
it's
what is the implication?
the moon
then?
and sun and all these. Yeah, I don't know what that even means. A tide is coming.
Aquaman's coming to theaters on December 21st.
The tide is going to pull us towards Aquaman. I don't know. I like the visual of the Trident and the old school kind of green glove with the gold mesh or scales. I like that.
It's a little intriguing. I just wish it didn't look. You know what it is? It's at that in between point where like you can't tell if it's like an illustrated cover or if it's like meant to look real. You know what I mean?
Well, I think all their advertisements like that, it's so heavily like digital, like photoshopped or whatever they're using, that it doesn't look real. It's very heightened, but to the point of maybe not looking realistic. And this is one of the least offensive ones, I believe. But I like the King Arthur thing, because the Lady in the Lake, her arm comes out and it's got Excalibur. So it's definitely hearkening to the whole King Arthur thing, which I like. I like that idea. I don't know about a tide is coming. Maybe a king. A king is coming,
has arrived.
Or the king is coming.
Returned.
The king's returned, or something like that.
The tide has changed.
Yeah, the tide is changing or something, but it's coming. The tide is always there. It either pulls in or out.
Is it a big deal that it's coming?
I don't know. The tide is always there. It's I don't know.
The Tide Pod.
We could get the Tide Pods. Don't eat them, kids. Don't eat the Tide Pods. Because it's only going to result in a stomach ache.
You guys, stop talking about Namor. We're trying to talk about Aquaman.
Just talking about Namor.
The tide is rising.
The tide is rising. Yeah, or something.
At least something.
The tide is rising. Yeah. Yeah, maybe. But then, okay.
It's just stating a fact.
I know this is nitpicky.
Oh, yeah.
This is I don't know. I feel, and I think Taylor pointed this out this morning too. I feel kind of strongly about this.
I think rightfully so. There's a lot of weirdness going on with this anyway, because it's like, well, wait, I just realized. So it's the Aquaman A over an A with the DC logo in it. Also, why is it over the A in the middle of it? Why isn't that just the first letter A? I just noticed that.
It could be the A. Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah,
it could be the
A. Why is it just in the middle? Because the symbol's just an A.
Excuse me. I don't think it works graphically. That maybe, like you said, if it was the A, but I don't think that's clever. Like putting the DC logo into the Aquaman logo, I think is weird. Like
one or the other.
Yeah, brand DC separate from Aquaman, but I know it's DC's Aquaman, but I think it kind of takes away from the cool aspects of, the graphic design of the A.
I think they need to pick the DC or the A, like you said, because it's like, it's weird that it's put on top of the logo. Like, they wouldn't do that with Batman. They wouldn't put a DC in the middle of the bat. Watch somebody find that right now. But it's really strange.
Yeah, I don't know if I like it. And they do something like that in the trailer, too. And we'll talk about that in a bit. All right.
It's a little blurry, but
My man. My man. That's cool. I like it. It looks like he still has the beard, but the hair looks maybe shorter because it's wet.
Yeah.
So, we'll see.
His boots. Does he have like a boot knife, or does his boots flare out?
No, I think it's kind of like a play on, how he has the fins.
That's right. Duh.
But it's kind of like a crustacean. It looks kind of like a shell, like a seafood shell, or like a I don't know,
what the
like
show?
a lobster. What the show? What
He
the
has to do puns
what
like
the
that.
show is that? But this is pretty vicious. So he's got a point on both ends. So he's going to be able to do some major damage with that staff.
Any Dynamo just said something that I kind of agree with a little bit. He said, RT Bear, the audience for this movie will be 80% women and it'll make a ton of money. I do agree because women love Jason Momoa and they will see whatever garbage movie he's in. Not that this movie's garbage, but regardless, I think it'll make money.
Well, I'm not even saying I'm opposed to it, but I just wanted to preface how we feel going on because I just want to let you guys know that we're fans and we want these things to do well. We don't want these things to tank. And I do like Jason Momoa. My little Jason Momoa story, I did meet him at a convention, but I bumped into him before I officially met him and then was introduced after I bumped into him. I never felt like such a child in my entire life.
He's a giant, right?
He's massive. I bumped into him my head was down and he was walking. He had that, like when he does conventions, he has the big hat on, like the wide brim hat. And so I don't know, it was a crowd, and so I just bumped into him and I looked up, and then I was with the promoter, and then Jason was with his people. And then I looked up and I go, oh my gosh. And then the guy introduced me. It's like, RT Bear, comics, whatever. And then Jason Momoa. And I was like, oh my gosh, that dude's, he's a giant.
He is a giant.
I think, okay, here's my comparison. Okay. There's Jason. This is me. I'm not even kidding. I bumped into his upper abs.
Did you feel like Seth Green?
Oh, you know what? Yes. Seth Green compared to me
is tiny, right?
Is tiny. I walked side by side. Him and I were walking somewhere together. And yeah, he goes almost to my underarm. So
He's
yeah,
a little guy.
I'm Jason Momoa to
Seth Green.
Seth Green.
Jason Momoa seems like the nicest person. By the way, I follow his Instagram, and he's always posting about his kids and drinking Guinness and having dad-like adventures. And he seems so cool.
Yeah, he seems very down to earth, and he definitely seems like he's embodying this character. Okay, home is calling.
The tide is coming. Home is calling.
I don't know, guys. These aren't the best taglines.
These posters are horrendous. I'm just gonna say it.
And I just
look at how I feel like they didn't even Photoshop a real shark in. It's like they made a digital model of a shark and put it in. It looks
like
weird.
They went to Marine Land and just took pictures of animals and then just put them in this scene. And then the cool city, you can barely see it.
Why are there so many orcas?
There's orcas.
It's the same, because there's the ocean is 70% of the earth, and there's a ton of species, but all that he could call was 2 stingrays, 1 million sharks, and orcas, and some dolphins. There's a turtle. I don't know what that's gonna do, but
he'll ram you with his shell. There's a couple turtles.
Look at how many orcas are in that left corner, though. There's so many of them. They're endangered.
Well, and they all look like the same.
He's calling them all to war, and they're an endangered species.
They're just cutting and pasting them. Okay, here it is. Okay, here's my biggest, okay, he looks like he's in street clothes.
Because the pants?
Yeah, he's got pants on, and he's underwater. I don't know. It just isn't quite working for me. I expect him to have, flip-flops on. And I don't know. I know this was an early poster.
If he's wearing flip-flops, I'm gonna die laughing.
But it doesn't quite work for him. And also, nothing about this poster makes any of them look like they're underwater to me. No. It all looks very, very digital, and it all looks very phony to me. So I think that's going to be one of my biggest problems with the movie. I like the tattoo markings, and I do like the yellow and green suit or orange and green suit that they put him in later. Here's the logo again.
Once again, they couldn't let that go.
Yeah, so this was one of the early posters they put out. Did you get the? Oh, there it is.
Someone in the chat says the orcas are orchestrating things.
They are orchestrated. Okay, so this was not my idea. So if you guys want to bag on anybody, just go for it, because Taylor.
It's the Geek of Steel who created this poster. See, this is something the kids might want to see.
You know what? The Geek of Steel missed the opportunity. Put it right
You're
over
right.
the DC logo. I would have put it over the DC logo.
I mean, it was good enough for DC to do. See, now this is something the kids want to see. The last poster, like you said, it's not that cool. Kids aren't going to care, but look at this.
I just figured out who really found Dory. It was
Jason Momoa?
It was Arthur Curry.
Oh.
And there he is.
I like the
Nemo.
Will Smith fish from the movie no one remembers.
This is a character from that same movie, right?
Shark Tale.
Shark Tale, yeah. And there's Patrick, and there's little Nemo. Right there.
Oh my gosh, this would be a good movie.
We found Dory and Nemo.
Every underwater scene looks like there are 5 fans and everyone is wearing silk, says Sketch.
Yeah, that is true. Okay, so do you have any more to comment, or do you want to get into the video of the trailer?
Let's get into the trailer, and this is the newest one. If you guys have seen it.
Okay, here we go.
All right, let's see.
All right,
I'm gonna scoot the camera a little bit so you guys get more centered of a view. All right.
Okay, so first I push this button.
Yeah, we're probably going to have to keep the sound low just so we don't get a copyright strike, you guys.
Okay, we'll do a kind of a run through it first.
Right.
I wanted to ask you, I know you're a Nicole Kidman fan. Is that Nicole Kidman?
It is. I love Nicole Kidman.
Okay.
I'm not even, okay, so I just watched American Horror Story. I know there's a girl in there that's like obsessed with Nicole Kidman, but I liked her first. She's one of my favorite actresses, and she's a great actress, but she picks some of the weirdest movies, and this is one of them. Trying to get this kid, there we go.
Okay, he swims at a breakneck speed.
That's pretty cool.
My wife thought that was something else coming out of the water when she first saw it.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. I kind of like it.
Pretty.
I like the placement of that one, the DC logo.
They have some cool settings. I'll say that.
Yeah, I like the juxtaposition of the desert with the water, but I think they definitely need to make up some water jokes here.
Yeah.
Because they should be dragging like water buckets with them.
Yeah, they take him to the middle of the desert, which isn't a bad pitch of an idea for an Aquaman story.
Yeah, to put them in the desert, and that somehow it looks like Atlantis, or at least the gateway to Atlantis, is in the middle of the desert.
Yeah, and there's Mira.
So we get a good broy line here later.
I forget this actress's name, but she's very beautiful.
She is gorgeous. I just wish that
she could escape Johnny Depp.
Either that, or they could have made her less. What's the Little Mermaid's hair color?
Oh yeah, Amber Heard. People are saying, yeah, her hair is. And I know it's the Aquaman movie, but her hair is like cartoonish red.
Yeah, it's really cartoony red. You know where it works is when her hair is wet, though.
It looks cool when it's wet.
It looks
darker.
Yeah, it looks way better when it's wet. So here, Disney did a movie called Atlantis. And
what are you implying? Oh, look.
So apparently there was a king before the king. So I hope... Oh, there's a turtle ship.
This does look like Atlantis.
I'm just hoping this isn't Lion King underwater. Because we just saw the Black Panther, which was Lion King.
Which was just Lion King.
And so now... Every King story becomes like the Lion King.
Kids love the Lion King.
What can I say? Okay, so that looks like Atlantis in the day. So, oh, wait. Okay, well, let's watch it through and then we'll comment.
No, that's the seal that opens up his fake digital dad so he can get his suit, just like in another DC movie.
In the Fortress of Solitude with crystals, maybe. Yeah. I don't know. James Wan.
I'm going to just say something right now. I don't like James Wan's movies.
Uh-oh.
I'm not a fan of James Wan's directing. I'm sorry, everyone.
Oh, they're gonna turn on you, Taylor.
Oh no, what's happening?
Uh-oh.
Ooh.
The Black Manta. I will admit, okay,
Pretty cool.
I like the Black Manta suit.
Again, not to bring up Young Justice, but best Black Manta costume, bar none.
Yeah, but what they did right here, and Taylor and I talked about it, because he's got the big old manta head, and in the comic books, they just give him normal shoulders. But in this, they built up the whole shoulder mass so it could basically not make the helmet or the head look so big.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's really big.
This is a really long scene they're giving away in this trailer, by the way.
I like it. It goes on a little too long, though.
I like it, but Mira's pants look lame. I'm not trying to dig on her outfit, but she's a pretty cool looking character.
Who's this guy? Are they Manta's people?
Yeah, they're like his cronies.
They're the Manta Rays. It's like some kind of gang, like 50s gang.
Run, Mira.
That was cool.
She's destroying all these vacation homes.
Haha, wasn't that funny?
Whenever she looks at him with like annoyance, it looks very genuine. She's either a good actress or they have anti-chemistry.
Okay, I like the bubbles moving around there. See, it looks good with the wet hair. That's the mom.
Oh, that's cool. What was that?
Those are from the New 52. Those are the Deep. What were those things called? I forget what they were called.
Was that in Throne of Atlantis? They came from like the Rift or whatever?
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Ooh, that actually gave me goosebumps.
So we get a little Lord of the Rings battle at the end. And I must admit, I kind of dig that, actually.
I like the water graphics splashing and making the Aquaman like font, but I still don't like that A.
Okay. All right. Thoughts?
On this little intro,
Yeah.
it's very Harry Potter.
I don't know what they were doing here. Is Jason Momoa, is this going to be like something that he looks back and see like
he has a snow
he remembers his mother, or like his dad gives him the snow globe? This will be a memento from your mother.
Oh, I hope they don't do that.
I don't know what this I don't know, the vibe is all wrong for me, like going into a snow globe.
It opens like a kid movie, like a young kid movie.
Yeah, it feels very Disney.
It's Krampus, says Josh.
Yeah, that's how the Krampus starts, yeah. But I do like that she's experiencing snow for the first time. So I think the wonderment of the scene, this part of the scene is really cool.
Can I just say though, Nicole Kidman, probably my favorite actress, really great. She does not look like she could be Jason Momoa's mom in any capacity. Oh my gosh.
She's not rugged enough.
She's so like lily white and European looking, and he's like Hawaiian.
Yeah. Well, you never know.
She's gonna have to really sell that.
How do you sell that though?
I don't know. They're gonna have to have chemistry, but she's not gonna have it because she's gonna be dead by the time. Spoiler alert! So you'll never really have interaction with them anyway.
Well, they show her go back to the sea, so I don't know when she dies.
Well, remember Mira says in Justice League, in the part I did say,
your mother's.
She had to leave because like Atlantis was under attack or something, so she had to come back to do something, and that's where she died. I could believe she was Mira's mom.
Yeah.
Seeing them together, but not Jason Momoa.
Well, who plays the dad?
Let's see. Somebody made a Jango Fett joke, so maybe that actor.
Oh, it's okay. It is. So maybe he favors the dad's genes.
Yeah.
So maybe that's what they were saying.
I guess so.
Belly rub. They got a pup. They got a pooch.
Yeah. She's taken up a lot of that bed. It says a lot of their relationship.
She needs it.
That does not look like her kid. I'm sorry.
I think it does. That's a young
Baby
Jason Momoa. That's a young Bromoa. It's a young Aquabro.
What if she was like, my little man?
My man. But look at the dad. I mean, come on.
Yeah, he looks like his dad.
There's a little darkness going on there. So let's give Hollywood some credit.
The Rock is the real dad. Says N.E.
Okay, so we know she loves him.
She doesn't want to leave, but something makes her.
So she may have spent the first year with him.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, look, the dad.
Yeah,
looks,
you know what? I can see it.
Yeah, and look, as a younger kid, he's got a little darker skin.
Yeah. So she has to leave him. She obviously doesn't want to.
Okay, here's my first big criticism. Here it comes, right there.
Whoa, that's a really digital leap, wasn't it?
That was a really rubbery
That
digital.
wasn't very cool. They didn't need to do it either. That's the thing.
Just have somebody dive off the pier.
Yeah, like they didn't. It's so unnecessary because she really could have just have like either a stunt person or have Nicole Kidman do it still in good shape. Like she could just jump off.
Yeah,
We
just
don't
have
need to
somebody
see
jump
her.
off. Yeah, I'd rather see that too. Just a normal dive. It doesn't have to be a superhuman dive.
Yeah, it's unnecessary.
Okay, so
By the way, that guy scored. Like he took a job as a lighthouse keeper and ended up hooking up with Nicole Kidman.
the most beautiful. Well, he's Django Fett.
That's true.
So it looks like they look like they made him a little younger for the other scenes, and so this is the same actor, right?
I believe so. Which,
Okay.
if so, they've been doing some really good digital de-aging on people in these movies lately.
Yeah, it's better than some of the action scenes. Okay, so the dad is still around. We don't know if this is contemporary though, right?
Yeah. Looks like small town,
Okay, he moves like,
ultra fast.
yeah, he's really strong. I like that.
Now, that submarine, is that a contemporary design? Because it looks...
It looks very, yeah, it looks older.
So he saved these guys.
Okay, and so here's my next rubbery. I don't like that.
People keep asking if we think that this movie's going to make it at the box office. We're getting to that.
Well, I want to hear what you guys think too, though.
Yeah, if you guys, like... Is this something you guys are going to see? Is this something that you're interested in? Do you think it's going to do well?
Okay, so in the earlier trailer, let me see if I can move this back a little bit. They jump out of an airplane
That's right.
over the desert. So I think Jason Momoa's line is redheads, and then he shrugs his shoulders, right? Because he just jumps out of the plane.
Yeah, and then they cut to a reaction of a goat for some reason.
And then he jumps out and goes, wahoo!
He does a Maui impersonation. Yoo-hoo!
Woohoo! I love jumping out of a plane into the desert
I
where
just realized
I'll
though,
dehydrate.
Yeah, he just jumped out of a plane into the desert, but then they show them walking for miles.
Yeah, why didn't you just get closer to?
Someone in the chat said that sub, by the way, is a modern nuclear sub. So
Okay.
I guess it was a huge deal that that's kind of cool.
So this is contemporary then. I like that. I like the setting too. So I think what they're implying is that, and when they show the flashback, I was going to speak over when we watched it the first time, but they mentioned in Justice League too that Atlantis used to be above ground.
Yeah.
So that's what this. So apparently, maybe the tide is rising or
The
lowering.
tide is coming.
Because I mean, how do you go from desert to this to the ocean? I don't know.
Because so what you're saying basically is this is probably an Atlantic ruin.
Or this is where Atlantis was.
Oh, okay. And that's why they opened that little seal thing, maybe.
Yeah, so maybe Atlantis was like the ocean was where that desert is, like around the, so where all the sand is, maybe that used to be ocean.
Okay.
Maybe.
So that might be a part of the plot then too. Maybe they're trying to restore, like somebody's trying to restore it, but it's going to mess up the world or...
Yeah, I don't know how they went from surface dwellers to being able to breathe water, but
They chose to. Can you imagine being able to choose that?
when I was a kid, I wanted so badly to breathe underwater, but it's almost impossible. One, you'll die, but your body just won't let it happen. Even when I was a stupid kid, I just couldn't do
You
it.
can only hold it for so long before you kind of have to force yourself up.
Okay, so this looks like
All
the
right.
ruins of an old Atlantis, which I like.
It sucks because I really want to like be intrigued by this, but I can't stand any of James Wan's directing. So this is like that's the only thing I have to get past. Like I think that Aquaman can be cool, and I don't even think Aquaman as a movie is bad, and I am intrigued by this, but the director is the biggest part for me that I'm like about.
Yeah, and I don't know, where's Mike Mignola when you need him
Oh my gosh.
with the
yeah.
design stuff? Because this starts getting very Disney's Atlantis.
Well, now that you mention it, it kind of reminds me of that last Hellboy movie
Oh, with all the gears
with
and
the elves.
yeah.
That was strange. I love her face right here. He says something dumb, and then she gives him like this best look. It's so organic.
She's so much better than that hair.
She deserves better.
That hair doesn't. It never not looks like a wig to me. I've seen cosplayers.
It's functional. She can.
See, this is very Atlantis with the and then the ruins
It's
and
blue too, which doesn't help.
yeah. Hollywood's go-to always is the blue glow.
She can rule the kingdom or go to a rave in the 90s. She looks the part of both.
Oh, that was the look. Was that the look?
Yes, that was the look. It looks like she's genuinely annoyed.
Okay. So now we're getting into Superman, Fortress of Solitude, Crystal territory.
Mm-hmm.
Where now Aquaman is going to get lectured from the king. Which I assume would be... Wait a minute.
Well,
if there's a queen...
Yeah, there was something...
She was married to this guy then.
She was, but I can't remember if he died. It depends on the story.
But let's back up. Then what is Jason to this guy?
Nothing.
So
he's only an heir because of her. Because the thing is, remember his brother that's like the main bad guy in this? That's his dad. So that's why that guy thinks that he's the rightful heir.
Okay. So Jason is no blood relations to the king at all.
No.
Only through his mom, the queen.
Yeah, who I think was the more just ruler. If there's anybody that knows the contemporary Aquaman origin, please chime in. But yeah, I believe that's why him and Ocean Master or whatever are so like at odds.
Yeah.
Because he's like a half breed, but the Ocean Master is like he's the rightful heir.
You know what else? I'm starting to realize maybe the genius of Jason Momoa as Aquaman is also he isn't going to look like his brother.
Yeah.
So with the hair and the Hawaiian, heritage and stuff like that, he's not going to seem like he's an Atlantean. He's going to seem different from them.
Yeah, so visually he already looks like he's...
Like an outcast.
Yeah, like that, exactly. So that kind of works because the other guy looks more clean cut, looks more like a stereotypical, like king, I guess.
Like a European king, yeah. And also Mara is very of that, like...
same kind of look.
Yeah, same look. So actually... Just thinking about it now, that casting is actually pretty clever because with the visual alone, you'll know he doesn't fit.
Yeah.
And also, he's got the big scraggly beard and the hair and everything. And then he has the attitude, the broy attitude, which really can work for an origin story just to back up. If he's still the bro after this, I think it's going to be a little strange.
But right now, he's like the rebel that's the rightful king because he's got the morality, and maybe the other king is more corrupt.
Well, he has. He's the underdog. He's the outsider. He's the. You know what I mean? He doesn't fit in. So I think it can all work. So wait, he's the reluctant hero. That's the word.
There you go. Exactly.
He's the reluctant hero.
And I always like reluctant hero stories. Everyone in the chat, by the way, is saying the king, I think, died, and that's why she moved on.
I believe you're right. Yeah.
It makes her honorable.
Yeah.
Let's see. Get a look at this guy.
Okay, so this is where he's saying everything that touches the light, right?
Everywhere the light
touches
is our kingdom.
Is our kingdom. Undersea.
Is that guy a famous actor? Is he anybody?
They never really do a close-up. Let's go back. They never really go too close on him. He could be anybody.
I thought it was Sean Bean for a minute.
Anything with Sean Bean in it is
he's
better.
Gonna die.
Is better, and he's going to die. All right.
Now it's full Atlantis.
All right. I'm sorry, guys. I know it looks kind of silly, but I like it. I hope these are portholes.
Not just like beads.
And not like little gems or something. But I think it'd be hilarious if they were like little portals.
Back when I ruled, I had very gaudy taste.
I had submarine turtles.
Your mother wouldn't have it. She wanted everything streamlined.
Okay. The other thing was, what was the Jim Cameron movie?
Oh, Avatar?
No. Well, it does look Avatar, but what was the one with the water? Shoot.
I'm thinking, The Abyss?
The Abyss, yeah. Because I think there's deleted. Are they in the deleted where they show the kingdom?
The alien world, right?
Yeah, underwater, yeah.
Or were they whatever those creatures were?
Yeah. I think they were aliens.
That was an interesting movie.
That was weird.
It had a lot of potential.
I like that shot.
Ooh, I
with
like
the whales.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
I like that the ruins look like they're ancient, like they don't look all modern and stuff.
Yeah.
It's kind of cool.
I hope these are jellyfish-ish. Oh, I just got a flash. I did a Teen Titan Spotlight with Aquaman and Aqualad, and I had to create jellyfish submarines.
I wish we had queued that up. You guys have to see these things.
But I could just see it now if we could digitally go back and color it. Because they're all like
Yeah.
neon. Like even in real life,
I think they owe you
jellyfish. Yeah, they have those
I think
kind
they
of.
owe you some royalties if they use those jellyfish subs.
I'll find them. I'll post them somewhere.
Those are my subs.
Those are my subs. Okay, so they're forging the Trident.
Yeah.
Very Excalibur. Ooh. Okay,
Ooh,
so
what's he calling forth? Now, is that the king or
I
is that
think-
the Ocean Master?
I think that's the king. And in the hologram, you couldn't see the colors, but in these, he's got green and gold.
I kind of don't like that
Can you
brown
see it?
He does.
The cape and
But it's got that brown filter they use in Wonder Woman.
yeah, I'm not a big fan
They
of
need to
filters.
stop with that.
It looks artificial to me.
It looks full CG, and I know that it is, but it
That-
doesn't look believable.
I know that it was a digital figure, but
Now, remember in Man of Steel when Superman was on that boat and he was working as like a rigger on the boat, and then he had
the
to risk
best
his
scene
eyes.
in the movie.
What if he interacted with Aquaman while he was a part of that crew?
Ooh,
That'd be a good cameo.
that'd be a good place.
That'd be pretty cool.
All right. Here it's a little rubbery, but I like it. When he leaps, watch when the ship, see? Oh, that's cool. And he flips around.
During the storm,
Yeah, I think why it worked. Oh, I went back too far.
the whales are breaching.
But right there, I think it works. There's a lot of stuff going on, so you don't just focus on the digital.
He's got to go fight Tekka.
Oh my gosh, what is going on here?
That's kind of cool.
I hope this doesn't turn into that scene from
Gives me nightmares.
what is that? Pirates of the Caribbean. Remember when it opened up that little funnel thing?
Yes.
That's what it looks like.
Oh no, I don't want any of this to be reminiscent of Pirates of the Caribbean.
Okay, here we
It's
go.
the heart of the ocean,
Okay, there's Ocean Master.
surrounded by sharks.
Okay, he's got a cape underwater. Interesting.
Why would he do that?
He's got armor. See, these scenes, I'm sorry. I just watched, what the heck was it last night? The new Jurassic Park movie. And there's some underwater footage in there that actually looks more convincing.
Ooh.
This stuff looks like a green screen with
Yeah.
slow motion and wind machines.
I know that like being underwater kind of gives everybody's skin that smooth, kind of weird texture. But I think that effect, like you said, it looks just like, I don't know, it doesn't look right to me.
Also in the comic books, I like the air pockets that are always flying around.
Movement bubbles. And
Yeah,
stuff.
and movement bubbles and debris kind of floating around.
It gives it visual interest as opposed to just like a flat graphic.
Yeah. Because this stuff, there's some bubbles there. See, the bubbles help. Okay, so that looks like it's cutting back to when his...
That scene's not underwater though, right?
No, this looks like the dad. You know how like, well, not his dad, but
king.
Yeah, the king. Where they showed him earlier on, where you said it looked like a filter. I think this is a continuation right
There,
here
okay.
of what he was doing. So it looks like Atlantis was above water here,
He's sending it to the ocean or something.
possibly.
Hmm.
That would have been cool if he did the dome idea, where he put a dome and then sank
And
it.
sunk, yeah.
But wait a minute, that they did do that in Atlantis, right? The cartoon, the Disney
Oh,
one.
they did.
That was a dome, right?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, well.
Well,
I get-
good idea, Art, but
Well,
I
it
don't
is-
think they can do it now.
I do think it was in the cartoon. I mean, in the comic book, so they could just claim it, you know.
Well, the
'cause-
thing is, too, they're going to get comparisons either way.
Yeah. And I do believe, I'm going to say something. I think Marvel would do a better job with the underwater stuff, just to be honest. But I think this was a good move on DC and Warner Brothers to get this movie out before Namor or before
anything like that.
before Marvel did anything, water or sea related.
Yeah, I think Marvel's really good at like building new environments and stuff, and this could very, very easily look like underwater Asgard.
Yeah. Okay. So there's the king. Yeah, he's got gold and green.
Golden hair, all the subjects.
We're going underground.
It's gonna be terrific.
He's
going
like
underwater.
He's doing the Cyrus. Can you dig it? We're taking this rave underground. Woot woot woot. There's a little bit of that A shape back here.
Yeah.
The Aquaman.
Oh yeah, there is.
A shape back here.
This movie is campy as hell, says any Dynamo. Well, I mean, it's Aquaman.
Yeah, but
I don't know if campy is the right word.
that guy does look familiar. That guy looks like he's from Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. This needs a Sammy Hagar soundtrack, says Chris Energetics. I don't know who that is, but
He looks familiar.
yeah.
Okay.
What if it was Chris Hemsworth playing Aquaman's dad? Well, not his dad, but the king.
This would be a better movie. All right. So here we go.
So she takes the little, not the thermos.
What are you doing? How are we going to get to Atlantis? That's not the only way. I'll show you the real way. Then why'd we need that? Doesn't he say, too, I could have just peed on it for the water?
I could have just peed on
I could have just peed on
it. Christ Energetic says, I can't dive. 55.
it. Bum, ba-da-dum, bum, bum, bum. Bum, 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 bum. She's the red rocker.
Ooh.
And green ain't mean.
Like,
Or wait. Is it? Yeah.
Green ain't mean compared to red.
Yeah, compared to red, yeah. I think
She's the red
I
rocker.
think Christ is onto something. Green ain't mean compared. There's your favorite. There's your favorite director, Taylor.
James Wan.
James Wan.
Let's see. Rhaegar says, well, I mean, guys.
Rhaegar? Or is it Hagar?
Tagar. Targaryen. Well, I mean, guys, people have been complaining about DC being dark, so maybe a little lightheartedness wouldn't be so bad.
Oh no, I like the tone, and like I said, I think that Jason Momoa as the Aquabro in the first episode, and in the Justice League, I think it can work. But for me, once he takes on that mantle, which we're getting to at the end of this, where he's got the green and gold or green and orange costume, and he takes on the mantle of king, I think the broiness is going to have to go away.
He has to mature. He has to seem like a king.
It's just not going to work anymore. And that could be a cool transition. So I'm willing to go on the journey. And there's
yes.
riding the horses.
Wait a minute, those things have legs. Are those dragons?
Wait a minute, they do.
What the heck?
They're kind of like seahorse / dragons.
That's pretty cool.
That is cool. But those look like those were the good guys. Okay, the bad guys have sharks with colonial wigs on her.
Colonial wigs.
With powdered. What is that?
It does look like one.
That's weird.
It's all curled.
I don't like that.
Wait, so that's like
that's
like the
not
Ocean
scary.
Master's army, and he wants his sharks to wear matching hats like his helmet.
Gosh. Okay, you said this is that's pretty damn campy, guys.
That's hilarious.
I mean, the seahorse with the like legs.
Cool,
that
though.
was kind of cool. This is. How do you mess up a shark?
by putting a wig on it.
How do you mess up a shark?
Primark says this movie is either going to be a sleeper hit or it's going to be a total mess. There's no in between.
Oh man! But once again, I'm not convinced this is underwater. I don't know.
Well, they look like they're just flying.
Yeah.
Annie says that the teen girl in the spinster market is who's going to watch this. I disagree. I think every chick is going to want to watch Jason Momoa, and that is a huge demographic as far as movies.
Well, there's one thing that they didn't do yet, and that's him without the shirt on.
Because I'm not a teenager or a spinster. I'm right in between. And while I won't pay for Jason Momoa just because he's in a movie, I think most people in my age range are also obsessed with him.
Hey, what do they call that? Like, the British they still do the wigs, don't they?
Yeah, the
What are they
powdered
called?
wigs.
Yeah, but what are they?
Oh gosh.
They're called something.
Not a
So,
toupee.
no, not just the wigs, but they're like barristers or something like.
Parliament?
Yeah, but they're like barristers or
Oh,
something like that,
yeah.
and they still wear. They're like the judges.
Yeah, I know what you're talking
So if
about.
anybody in the chat knows what the British, are they barristers? Yeah, they still wear the powdered wigs. I'm expecting like the little you know how they put
Curls.
no, they put the little
Oh, the moles, like they draw it on their cheek.
no, like the little bows they put like
Oh, yeah.
little beauty
And
mole
with
right there.
With the curls coming down.
Oh god. You know what? Now that we're staying on this may be the biggest offender of the trailer.
I think the other offenders that the shark looks like it's roaring. Like they don't make sounds underwater.
Well, I just want to see like air bubbles or something come out. Like
Yeah.
I just think it would help sell that they're underwater.
Do you notice that every beast type thing in these things, they always make them roar like a lion?
Oh yeah.
Like it's not cool.
It doesn't matter what kind of animal they are.
Bows and beauty moles. It's romantic, says the chat.
It is.
So they're riding sharks.
All right.
Also, the sharks seem harder to maneuver than those like seahorses.
Yeah, I'll just tell you right now, if they marketed this right and they do make this more of a kids movie, I could see these things selling these toys.
Oh yeah.
Cuz they look
at that.
very kid-like.
That's cool.
Yeah, they have like beaks.
Little boys are gonna want this as a toy.
Yeah, so they look cool enough to be like a cool design toy.
Yeah, definitely.
And also they can fight with them. You know what I mean? So you could have the good guys fighting the bad guys.
They look fearsome. They're not just like horses. They look like they can like battle.
Yeah, they look like they have wings too. This is
Yeah, cool fins.
I don't know. I like this. I like this DC.
Like you said, kids movie thing. Look, that's cool.
Okay.
Those sharks are not as cool as them, but you know, as far as like.
So do you
know.
think there's a new Atlantis built around the old Atlantis? Because this looks like
Yeah.
ruins.
It does. Is that like the Atlantis Round Table statue? What's going on over there?
Yeah, the Knights of the. Ooh, wait a minute. You might be onto something. They all have.
Tritons.
Oh my gosh.
That looks like the Queen statue in the middle.
So, well, there also might be many kingdoms.
Yeah. Oh, you're right. So maybe there's like different clans or something.
Yeah, and if they are, it's kind of cool, but it's also very Black Panther.
Yeah, it is. There's a little bit of Black Pantheriness in all of this. That looks animated.
Yeah. What? Oh, I'm underwater? No, you're not.
That looks like they put their heads on top of full-on CGI bodies.
Yeah, the armor looks cool. That hair is kind of neat.
Yeah, he has it pulled back super tight. I would argue why wouldn't you just shave your head at that point, but
Well, I would argue if they were born underwater, why do they have hair?
yeah.
Why are they breathing with their mouths? Like the weird thing too, I mentioned this on the other chat, is that they're underwater. Sound, you can hear sound underwater, but these underwater scenes that there's going to be heavy dialogue delivered underwater, it's going to be weird, man. It's just going to be weird to me.
Yeah.
It's not going to work 100%. And even in Justice League, if you noticed, when Mira and...
It's awkward.
Well, she makes an air pocket.
So they can speak, yeah.
So they can talk. So they don't talk underwater. She makes an air pocket and then they talk. So I really think they should have done the dome. I think they should have done the dome.
John Davies says Peter Jackson should have directed this.
Ooh, wait a minute. What is that?
I don't know.
Is that the sub? No. What is this?
I don't know what that shape is.
Wait a minute. So it looks like these guys are creating some kind of natural like water disasters, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Because if they're gonna push a sub out of the ocean,
Is that what's happening? I can't really see because there's like a light.
it looks smooth on top. It doesn't look like a ship. It looks like a cylinder.
Unless they're
and
summoning a creature or
Then
something.
that's Aquabro in the truck. I know that. Ooh.
Is it a creature or is it a sub?
It looks smooth, and it looks like it has some kind of tower on the top there.
Hmm.
It might be the sub.
Oh, it jump cuts where you can really even get a good look at it.
So he's doing the look at this. Is that a fishing pole?
Yes, it
That's
looks
funny.
like it.
That's funny. So this looks like what is that movie where they outrun the storm? Twister. This is. Oh no! It's a battleship.
Oh, that's cool.
Ooh.
That's kind of neat.
Oh, it moves too fast. Slow it down, man. This is your money shot. Maybe it's a tanker. It's not a battleship. It's a
Yeah,
tanker.
because it's like flipped on its side, right? They're flipping it onto the land.
Oh my gosh.
Man, that shot is so
come on,
quick,
man. Shoot it. Yeah, they
You
need
don't
to
even
shoot.
get to fully absorb it when it happens.
They need to shoot this better.
Oh yeah, I do not like that talking underwater thing.
Yeah, we need to see that. Because when I saw this at first, I thought it was just water. Let's look at it in real speed, in real time,
Hard to see.
and then we can see the underwater discussion.
For Atlantis.
Oh, it happened so fast.
So where does Black Manta?
Is that Black Manta sub? What is? Okay, so that's like the Manta, one of the Manta ships, right? Right there.
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
These James Wan effects, man.
I have no idea where this neat. You know what it is? You know what this is? This is the Rainbow Bridge, man.
Ooh, crossover.
Thor's coming. Thor and his people.
Atlantis isn't a place, it's a people.
Oh my gosh, this does look like it's some kind of rainbow bridge. Wait a minute. So no, what's his name doesn't hang out in a sub, right?
I don't
Manta.
He has a ship.
Yeah,
But I don't think it's a submarine like that.
That other one's probably Manta's ship, right?
Yeah, unless the ship is trying to destroy Manta's ship. Oh no!
Yeah, that's why I was thinking it was Manta, because there's.
He's attacking here.
Yeah, if and indeed that shot came from there.
I just want to know where he comes in this story. It seems like there's a lot going on, and it seems like it's mostly focused on Ocean Master being the bad guy. But
yeah,
then Manta's there too. Is he just doing his bidding or what?
I hope not. Okay, that's working. That's working for me.
Pretty cool.
That is completely working for me. I'm a fan of the funky design, and Manta's always been a funky design. And I think by building up that back piece and the shoulders,
Very cool.
it's working.
Imagine if the eyes blinked
That would be weird.
instantly, just destroying.
Okay, so he's got some kind of gas or something coming off of.
Yeah, he
Did
does.
you see that?
Yeah, he does. I don't know what that is.
I wonder if it's changing, because he can go underwater, right?
Yeah, he can handle the depths. I don't know. I didn't notice that until you pointed it out. I don't know what that's supposed to be.
The suits, the thighs look like they're built up a little bit too.
It's a pretty cool design
I don't mind it. Yeah, there's like some kind of gas.
coming out of him.
What the hell?
What the shell?
What the hell is that? Dude, bro.
You just destroyed a priceless ruin.
I wonder if they're in Atlantis or if they're like in Greece
It
somewhere.
looks like Greece. Ah!
Ooh, it looks like she's saying the F
It
word.
totally did.
You I'm a lip reader here. I think that's what she really was saying. They dubbed something else.
Run
Okay.
away.
He looks big compared to that.
He does.
That
Black Manta looks small.
he looks like a kid. Kick.
Ooh,
Do they have guy liner on that dude?
I think so. I
That's
think a little bit.
That's a little. That's a little.
It works with his gypsy ways.
Okay.
Ooh,
I think the suit needs to be a little bit more worn though.
it looks very pristine, huh?
It looks a little too
A little
TV.
Halloweenish.
Yeah. That's set. It looks like a set.
Yeah,
That
there's
looks
no way that that's real.
That doesn't look real.
I can already see like the behind the scenes green screen version of this exact scene. Ooh, he did the blast eyes.
The blasters.
Arr.
That's cool.
It kind of sucks. They show a lot of this fight. We won't be able to enjoy it when we go see it. Run.
You know what she looks like? She looks like, come on, Eileen. She looks like she's wearing suspenders or something.
She does. That's what I mean.
And
that's
then those
weird.
boots, she looks like she's from that, like, Dexy's Midnight Runners.
Because she has like capris on. And then
She looks like the girl that was
boots.
playing the violin in that.
I like how they come to this small Greek fishing village and then she just everything gets shot up because she runs across all the buildings.
Okay, so these are the manta rays, his little gang.
Ah. Ooh, there's civilians there.
There's normies.
Oh no. I like scenes like this. Look at her, she's terrified. What the heck is that?
What's going on? I like this one though, what they cut out.
That camera work. The thing that's bugging me about this is that, like, if you guys have seen the movie The Raid, the camera work is really good in that and kind of started this trend of ducking in and out of windows and stuff. And they're kind of doing it here, but it doesn't look real.
The Raid, was that before the Bourne Identity?
I think so. It's an overseas movie.
Okay, because Bourne Identity did this, but they did it all practical. And you're right, this starts looking kind of digital. It's still cool, but I think Bourne, and I haven't seen The Raid yet.
I think the Bourne Identity, though, is more in line because it's like a lot of chase scenes and stuff, though, right?
What goes in and out, it's exactly this, where they're going in and out of like people's apartments.
And that's impressive when it's practical.
Yeah, like
really
all this
cool.
stuff looks practical, so it's really cool. Like that looks really cool.
Yeah.
That's a stunt lady. Like
You don't-
all this?
You don't believe that's her?
No, it's her. Look at these guys. If they didn't have the blasters, she'd get away.
Yeah. Man, parkouring around that whole place. I don't know about that.
Wait a minute, didn't we just see that scene?
They're just showing it again. He's
What is-
running back through.
What is that? Like he's a little slower than the rest of them. He's playing catch
The
up.
very last guy.
They do that exact thing in Bourne Identity, where they both leap, one from inside and one on the rooftop.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Good job, James Wan. We know where
But
you got this from.
but this is what they do to change it up.
He smashes.
He goes right through the wall. Yeah. So it's different.
Yeah, I don't
It's
know.
unique. It's unique.
It's
Oh, that I like that, where she actually gets blasted, thrown in the air. Dude, your hair's red.
Okay.
All right, bro.
I don't know. Oh,
Okay, so is this
the final showdown.
Jason?
I think so.
Okay, so this is
Black
our
Panther
Black
style.
Panther showdown.
Once again, the hero fighting an evil version of himself.
If they're underwater, it's not
So is
working.
he wearing? Oh, he's wearing a helmet. That's Jason Momoa, right?
It's got the tattoos,
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So this is one man or two men enter, one man leave.
There's jellyfish lights, which is kind of cool. I like that. The lanterns are jellyfish.
He's got the slick armor. I like the armor though. This is what that they should have done this with Black Manta. See how it's scuffed and things?
Yeah, it's cool. It's got like wear on it, so it
Yeah,
looks like
I think it looks
some-
better. This is the first time I like the underwater effects. I like the water.
Yeah, there's actual like bubble trails and stuff that
Yeah.
actually make it look interesting.
Jim Aparo did in Adventure Comics. Believe it or not, Adventure Comics existed before Superman took over the title, and it was Aquaman. They were Aquaman stories, and Jim Aparo was the penciler inker, and he did all these. Everything had like bubbles and stuff, and in lieu of action lines, he used the bubbles.
Oh, that's
and
cool.
It was really, really cool. So everything, instead of just some guy floating in the air, which they do in the contemporary comics too, he had bubbles.
Well, it gives the environment a unique
Yeah.
thing that you can't really do anywhere else. And if you're gonna do it underwater, you might as well actually utilize stuff like that.
Yeah, because you can't get that visual anywhere else. All right, what is this?
Why are they
Is that a
having a moment?
spaceship? What is that? Something's. Were they sinking? Were they on a platform?
I think so. What are they looking at the moon? I can't tell what's there though.
Okay.
Okay, I see stuff on fire. Is that a flooded place?
I don't know. Is that a city with flame? I don't know what that is.
I don't either. I can't
And then
really
it looks
tell.
like either they go down or the island does. Once again, the wet hair works. She's gorgeous. That blade looks like it's got some blood on it.
It does.
All right, so they took over a set from Pirates of the Caribbean.
His clothes aren't really like floating or moving in any interesting way, and his hair is down, which is kind of weird because if you have long hair and you're underwater, your hair is never, ever, ever like that.
No, this is all wrong. The zero G and the physicalities of this stuff isn't really working for me.
What is that? One of the manta guys?
Yeah. It's a great backdrop though, like an old
Yeah.
shipwreck.
I'm just interested in how they're going to weave that part into the story because it seems like two very different kind of stories.
Okay, so now we cut back to the past. I think this is the past.
Yeah, it looks like Nicole Kidman fighting off some guys that came to attack the house.
These are different looking guys. These are like white. They're in white.
Yeah.
She was in white too when she dove back into the ocean.
Maybe they sent someone to kill the new heir or something.
Yeah. Maybe these might be her people.
They look like robots. Is there
Yeah.
anybody in that suit?
I don't know.
Maybe he's building a tech army.
Ooh, right in the face.
Smashed him right in the face.
Look at her face. She's saying,
Put some force behind that. Oh no, I just had to kill a bunch of people in my house.
I'm going to have to go back home and deal with some of this stuff. My little world I built here in the lighthouse isn't working out.
It's a living.
I'm going to have to say bye to my Boba. What is his name? Boba Fett? Boba.
Yeah.
No, was he Boba?
That was Django.
That was Django. All right, now we get back into that.
Ooh.
This movie looks like there's a million
That's what
things
I mean,
going
right?
on.
It's like kind of all over the place with this stuff. This is all stuff that seems like it's like the main conflict of other stories, and they're all in one thing. What is
Whoa, what is this? Okay, so she was all white, Aquaman's mom, and so those guys were in white that came after her.
that? Yeah, and they have the blue energy there that looked like it was on their suits.
Man bun. He's got the man bun. I don't know. I'm having a hard time thinking this is a real place.
Why? Is it because everything looks like it's painted?
Didn't they learn from Green Lantern?
Well, whatever we're doing, we're making a good advertisement for the movie because there's multiple people in the chat saying they're interested now. Oh no, I think our visual is frozen.
Is it?
It is.
Uh-oh. Does that mean that we're getting busted?
I wonder if we have got a copyright strike. Can you guys hear us? Do we sound okay?
Yeah, let us know if you guys can still hear us because we don't need this video. We can wrap it up.
Yeah, our
Are we
screen
still
looks
there?
like it's frozen, but I can't tell if you guys can hear us okay.
Oh, there we
Sounds
go.
good. So the visual on the screen is stuck. It looks like on a Mira and Aquaman's face, but it doesn't look like a...
Okay, so what you guys are missing is the big epic Lord of the Rings battle and the Aquaman. Oh, there it is.
There we go. It's caught up.
Okay, cool. So we actually got to the end. This, I don't know, you guys. It kind of worked for me. It's kind of working. The only thing about revealing this is that you know he's going to win the fight.
Yeah, it kind of gets into spoilery because it's obviously the climax of the movie.
Right. Unless somehow he dons the mantle before he goes into the final battle, but
Either way, you know that he's going to get into the suit now, though, and that's kind of...
Yeah, and I believe there's going to be many of those the Tridents. It looks like.
Yeah.
All right. Why did you do the DC logo in the A?
Also, how come there's only a break in the Q of the Aquaman and no other letter? That's a little strange.
All right. Story by Jeff Johns. Okay.
Interesting. James Wan is the only variable there that I don't have faith in.
Okay, so I click back on this.
Yeah, go ahead.
Will that take us back?
Just click the Photoshop icon.
Oh, right here?
Yeah.
Okay. Thanks. All right. We're back.
We're back to that.
All right. So should we sum it up? What do we need to?
Yeah, I don't know what your guys' verdict is on this movie. For sure, are you going to go see the movie? Because I think as of right now, I'm probably going to go see it at least.
Yeah, I'll see it. I'll definitely see it. I think it looks good enough, and there are real cool aspects to it that I like. So, yeah, I'll pay my money. I'll take my family.
People in the chat are giving it a thumbs up, so I guess love it, can't wait.
I give it a Trident up.
I don't know if I love it, but I'm excited to see it. Do you have any predictions?
I don't know. Like the chat was saying that the Jason Momoa love might bring a lot of the young girls to the movie, and it definitely has a romantic vibe. You know, there's two characters, so you know, Mira and Arthur. So you have that aspect to it. So it looks like there's a love story in the backdrop, which I like. And I think we'll have more universal appeal, you know, as far as, you know, getting some girls into the story.
Yeah, for sure.
Into the theater.
What do you think about the near Christmas release date?
I think they should release it like earlier. I mean, because it's like the 21st, right?
Yeah, I feel like it should be earlier too, because isn't that, I don't know if that's the same day, but that's really close to Transformers and what was the other one we talked
Mortal
about?
Engine.
Mortal Engines, and I think Battle Angel Alita comes around that time too. There's a lot of movies. I mean, I know December's a big one, but I think if it came to like taking your family to see a movie around that time, probably Bumblebee might actually win out.
Yeah, and as far as an epic adventure, I think that Mortal Engine as well. And with Peter Jackson's name attached to that,
yeah,
that may be the big standout. But I'm holding out hopes. I think for me, I'm not a big effects guy. I can be taken in by bad effects pretty easily, but I think a lot of the underwater stuff to me doesn't look very underwater.
Yeah, definitely.
It looks very blue screen. It looks very CG. I'm not convinced that they're really underwater. And I think for a movie like this, if you can't succeed on that level, then I don't think you're succeeding. But having said that, context. If the story is really good and I'm sucked into the adventure and the characters, sometimes I can overlook horrible effects. So that's not automatically a deal breaker for me. But having, you know, no context really and just watching the trailer, some of the water effects just don't really work for me. And I really wish that Mira's hair wasn't as stark red as it is.
Very bright.
Yeah, it's just a little too much. But that's it. How about you?
Yeah, the only variable here for me really is James Wan as a director, because I have not liked a single James Wan movie, and I have no faith in him whatsoever. And it's kind of, I don't know, like, I like Jason Momoa. I liked him. I think he's always a really good side character rather than a lead. Like, you know, Khal Drogo, strong, silent type, good. I saw that Conan movie, and oh boy, that movie was a hot mess. And there's a little bit of a Conan vibe to this movie too, and not in a good way. And I'm not sure if I'm not sure if James Wan is gonna bring out the good in that actor or not. We'll see. I did see The Conjuring. I hated it, and I don't know. It's gonna be interesting for sure. I don't have any major predictions about it. Like I said, I'll definitely see it, but I don't know. I can't really I don't know about you, but I can't really pin down a vibe of this movie. Like, I can't really pin down, like, Bumblebee was obviously like a kid movie. Like, it didn't seem like it was really breaking new ground or anything. This seems like it's not quite Justice League / BVS demographic. But also doesn't really seem like it's a kid's demographic. Like, I don't know about this one. It also kind of seems more like a Marvel movie to me in some ways, but
that's a good thing, I think.
yeah, it definitely is.
Yeah, I like the jokes. I like all that, but like I said, I can watch a 2-hour adventure, and tying that into the Justice League, Aquaman. But at the end of this movie, Jason Momoa's character cannot be that same guy. I don't think I would be able to suspend the disbelief for another 2-hour adventure after this, having him the same broy guy. I know that his personality isn't going to change 100%, but I think at some point he's going to have to be more kingly and a little bit
Agreed.
more, I don't know, less jokey and more of the take charge guy. Because as it is now, it really does feel like the Lion King, where
Yes.
there's this guy that has this potential. You know, he's the little lion cub, and he just needs to, basically kind of man up and become the king. And so it really,
acceptable for a first movie,
yes.
but like you said, if that's by the end, it kind of will make the journey feel ultimately pointless.
And actually, to be honest, so this doesn't become the Lion King, or even, well, they did it in Black Panther, is don't go the whole movie and then have him become the king at the end. So Black Panther broke up the Lion King thing by not having him go the whole movie and then
Yeah.
becoming king. In the middle of the movie, he becomes the king, or early on, he becomes the king. So Aquaman's a little bit different, but it would be nice to see him maybe in that, the Aquaman orange green outfit sooner in the movie,
Yeah.
and not just have it at the very end of the movie.
I'm hoping, because if that really is like the end scene we're seeing there, like that, I don't know, it would feel very strange. I think you're right. I think if they deliver early enough, it'll feel more satisfactory.
Well, it'll feel more like that he earned the Aquaman mantle by midway, and then we get to see him basically accept the responsibility of what it is now. So like the first half of the movie, or the first act of the movie, he's the reluctant guy. I don't know, whatever. And he doesn't know a lot about his heritage. And so, she has to educate him, just like, what was the bird or whatever. And
It's exactly like the Lion King. The
Yeah.
more you describe it, the
Yeah.
more it becomes the Lion
so
King.
Mira becomes like the bird, like, well, you
Zazu.
you have to do it. You don't know what your brother, your half brother's doing there. Like Scar,
Oh
Scar's
my gosh.
Scar's running amok.
Oh,
so
no.
so now he's got his brother. And so Mira's like, hey dude, here's your origin, here's your story, this is your heritage, and all that.
Oh, one question.
Go.
Do you think they're gonna kill his dad? DC has a past of killing dads in the movies. We see him going to the kingdom and stuff. Do you think Aquaman's dad is gonna make it out of this movie alive?
I don't know, or maybe he dies of natural causes earlier in the story. They do show him older though.
They do. I just hope they don't motivate him with something like that.
I don't like that. I think, especially in this light, there's enough death already in his history that he doesn't need that. Especially if it's like that his brother's
Yeah.
guard killed him or something like that. Like something like that. I don't think I'd like that. So if he just kind of died of natural causes, maybe, or if he was torn apart by a tornado, I don't know.
Something really graceful.
Something really nice, Way to go, DC. What was that? Jonathan Kent, right?
Yes. So there's still time.
Wait, I need to save the dog.
It's so worth it. The
It's
dog
so worth
made
it. I died.
People in the chat are saying that this movie has room to redeem the DCU. Do you agree with that? Maybe that'll be our closer question.
I liked Justice League, so there, you guys play your hate. I liked Justice League, and I think that Justice League was a start to move the DCU in the right direction. I wouldn't say it was 100% successful, but based on what Joss Whedon had to work with, I would say he did pretty darn good. And I know that I'm in the minority there because I know a lot of people hated that movie, but I think there's way more good in that movie than bad, and I think there's some great interactions between some of the characters, especially Wonder Woman and Batman. I think that dynamic was flawless to me. I thought it was very, very cool. And I think in lieu of having a Superman in that story, that's how that would take place. Like they would like, who's going to lead this team? You or me? You know, and they both kind of want the other one to accept that role. And neither one of them thinks that they're fit to take that role. But they do the best that they can without a Superman. And so by the end of the movie, they have Superman. So now you know who's going to take on that role. So I liked some of the dynamics in that movie. I thought it was very cool. I did like Jason Momoa in that story as Aquaman, but he also seemed like he was still the reluctant hero. You know, he was still the guy that's not really 100% in the game yet. So this looks like it's going to be a continuation of that, like him becoming, you know, accepting, I guess, the responsibility of being a king and what that entails. And also it seems like his brother is hell-bent on probably, I don't know, destroying the surface world.
Yeah.
So, and him having a foot in both worlds, he has to save both of them. So I think it's a pretty good natural fit. As a kid, I liked the whole Aquaman as the king. I always liked that idea. So I am very hopeful of it. Some of the wisecracking stuff, like when he says, you know, I could have just peed on it. I don't know. You know, I think that's going to get old real fast unless they give him some substance and some insight on what's going on. But if he keeps being too jokey, I don't think it's going to work for me. So I don't know. How do you feel, Taylor? I mean,
Yeah, I actually haven't watched Justice League all the way through yet, and I need to. But I think really a lot of the DC hate comes from Batman versus Superman, and it's kind of it's deserved. But I think that Justice League really had a tough act to follow because of that. So this movie definitely, it looks more lighthearted. I think it's starting with kind of a cleaner slate now that Justice League was the previous movie. So
I agree. I have a lot of hopes for it. I'm a big DC fan, so I definitely want this thing to do well. I will give it my money, and I will go see it. But, you know, I think for me, I'm a fan. I think this kind of talk is interesting and fun. So there's things I want to see, and there's things that, you know, we're going to be given. So I'm going to just try to make, you know, my peace with some of it. But yeah, are there any questions? Anybody want to add anything?
let's see what you guys have to say. And by the way,
Yeah, how do you guys feel about this?
let's see. It wasn't bad. Justice League to me seemed like it wanted to be dark while trying to be slapstick, says Nick. Thank you guys for plugging the black and white campaign in the chat.
Yes, thank you.
Mark says, I'm pissed they're ditching Cavill now that he's actually Superman.
Wait a minute, is that official?
Yeah, last I heard, I didn't know if he had actually left. I know there was a rumor of him leaving, but if that's official, we'll definitely make a video about that in the future. Mark C says, it's the King Arthur story and the Trident is Excalibur.
Yeah, definitely.
And Nick says, I think that if they reflect a good Aquaman story, they can breathe life back into DCU.
I agree, and that's what I want to see.
Yeah. And Mark C, as a final thing, says, put Paul Dini and Bruce Timm in charge.
Put them in charge of anything.
Oh, yeah.
I think they
animated stuff is great.
Yeah, I think they would kick butt on anything that they do. I guess TV and film don't mix. They just don't mix the two.
For some reason.
Yeah, for some crazy reason. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much, and get us out of here, Taylor.
Thanks, you guys. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell.